Before we begin, I wanted to share my newly launched snail mail subscription, Dancing Daughter Dispatch, a monthly mailed experience filled with intentional art, creative practices, poetry, and storytelling, lovingly crafted to inspire healing, growth, and a deeper connection. This offering is a reflection of who I am and the creative practices that have grounded me and nurtured me throughout my life. Each month, you'll receive a postcard print and a handwritten style letter introducing a central theme, along with rotating surprises like stickers, journaling prompts, creative activities, poetry, and nature-inspired treasures. Each letter weaves storytelling, reflection, and gentle guidance, an invitation to slow down, imagine, and connect. January's theme is Trust Fall, my guiding intention for this year. Monthly spots are limited, though more will open every month as interest grows. You can join at any time during the month and cancel whenever you wish. There's no obligation, only an open invitation if this speaks to you. The link to join Dancing Daughter Dispatch is linked below if you wish to learn more. Thank you always for your kindness and support. Every beginning of the year, my spirit craves a gentle reset. As a witch I know, my body naturally starts turning thought into action during spring. But as a year comes to close and a new one welcomes us, I have found comfort in doing practical spells in my small cauldron, where I write in a blank piece of paper of what I am letting go of this year. And in 3 bay leaves, I write what I wish to call in for this year. Bay leaves have become one of my favorite ways to practice my magic, as they are practical and accessible. They are believed to carry powerful magical properties for protection, wishes, success, love, and healing. Watching bay leaves catch fire is quite a mesmerizing thing, and even when the flame goes dormant, the smoke rising from the leaf feels like a trance of sorts, as well serving as a kind reminder of the magic that rises when we dare to wish. I want to share with you guys really quickly some of the notebooks that I will be using throughout the year that will help support me in all of my endeavors, whether that is spiritually, creatively, writing stuff, illustrating, anything that makes up who I am. I am a notebook girly and I love using notebooks to help organize my life in a way. And it's taken me a while to simplify what notebook I'm going to use for what. I am a fan of stationery and I am a fan of notebooks, and I used to collect notebooks like crazy. Over the years, I've simplified my list in a way that will best help me keep up with them. I found out that a lot of the time I wasn't being consistent with them, and that's because I had way too many. I still feel like I have quite a bit, but I have simplified my list. So this is my little stack of notebooks. I'm currently using, well, these are 4 right here. I realized that I don't have my gardening notebook with me. My gardening notebook is all about just planning my garden beds, things I've learned in my garden, things I want to grow, just notes that can help me remember what I want to do each year in my garden. And I suppose I can also simplify that by just including it in my grimoire, because gardening is such a huge aspect of who I am. I had so much fun last year with my garden beds. It was my first time making a garden bed and I've learned so much. So I'm thinking of actually simplifying my gardening notebook and making it a sort of section in my grimoire, which, by the way, this is my grimoire. Brandon just got home, so he's invested. So yes, this is my grimoire, which if you've seen that video where I DIY'd this, I turned an old scrappy book that I had into this. I just put fabric on it and I made this little quilted sort of design. And I love it so much. If you've been here with me for a while, you've most likely seen this notebook. I actually got this from Barnes & Noble's many years ago, and I technically use this as a journal. I realized that I haven't been using it as often, and I really want to make it a goal this year to try and write on this almost every day. So that is a goal for this year. So this is my journal that I've been using for some years now, and I will continue to use it until I finish it and then get a new one. Then you guys know that I mentioned this one in my last video as well. This is my 2026 planner, which is also a astrology planner of sorts. I gave a little spiel of why I got this planner. It's from Chani Nicholas. They are a professional astrologer. I love their work and I decided to give their 2026 planner a try. I oftentimes use my journal also as a spiritual tarot card type of journal, which I will continue also using this as such, just because spirituality, tarot oracle cards, it's such a big part of my life, and oftentimes I feel called to journaling by pulling out some tarot and oracle cards, and that is what I use as a journal entry. But what I like about this is that there is space to practice also your spiritual practice of sorts. I mentioned in my last video that this gives a lot of information about astrology, which is something that I really want to get back into this year. I'm excited to dive into this. I really love it for the little activities that it has, where you can again pull tarot cards, be creative. There's some journal prompts in here. I really am enjoying this so far. And then I have this little notebook. It is a multimedia notebook that I really loved the size of this when I got it, but I had no clue what I was going to use this for. At first, I was using it just as a creative dump place where I was just making little random doodles, and I was doing little spreads of sorts, collage spreads. And then I realized as the time went by that I was making like monthly spreads. I have here a November spread, and then again, more doodles. And then I did an October spread last year that I really loved. And that is all the spreads I've done. So what I actually want to make this into is a monthly sort of overlook notebook. I feel like I would really benefit from having a notebook where I can sort of dump my visions for the month ahead. And I can do so by making little spreads like I did in October. I really had so much fun with this, and unfortunately I didn't touch it again. So I really want to make it a theme that every beginning of the month I do a little spread, a little visual spread of maybe short-term goals. As much as I am a very long-term goal person and I am constantly working towards my long-term goals, I need to set some short-term goals. I get very excited about the long-term stuff that I often forget to set those little shorter-term goals that can help me get to my long-term goals, or it can just be a goal that I just want to accomplish within the next few days or weeks. I am going to be making little collage spreads on here for every month and putting some short-term goals on here, maybe a book that I wish to read for this particular month, maybe some affirmations that I want to live by for that particular month, things that I am looking forward to that month. So that is what this little notebook is going to, its purpose is going to be. And I'm really hoping that this will help me simplify my notebook crisis that I sometimes have. I do have other notebooks, but those are more so illustration notebooks. I love doodling on those. I think I have a good like 3 of them, which again, I need to simplify. But I am really looking forward to these being my themed notebooks for this year and going forward. I'm trying to get better at doing digital resets, taking time to declutter my phone and clear out what no longer serves me. Since I work in the digital space, my phone quickly fills with video clips, photos, and graphics for social media that I often forget to delete or archive. I recently went through my phone, removed what I no longer needed, and moved meaningful photos to my computer to print later. Going forward, I want to create a photo album for each year and be more intentional about documenting my life. In a world where so much lives digitally, I don't want my memories buried in thousands of photos on a screen. There's something special about holding a physical photo. It feels more alive. Making yearly digital resets a priority I know will help me stay organized, create space, and feel less overwhelmed. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in my 30s is the importance of caring for both my mind and body. In my 20s, I was deeply drawn to hustle culture and driven by the need to prove myself and my worth. By the time I entered my 30s, I found myself overwhelmed, exhausted, and navigating health challenges that affected me both emotionally and mentally. Little snowy mountain, cute little snowy mountain over there. This decade has become a period of intentional healing, prioritizing my body's well-being and learning what truly supports her health and happiness. I've realized that something as simple as being outdoors, nature watching, hiking, walking, and sightseeing brings a deep sense of ease and comfort to both my mind and body.
Are you doing the kick out?
I love starting a new year, month, or even a week with time spent outside. This time, Brandon and I explored some nearby hiking areas, and we returned home feeling grounded and restored, reminded once again that nature never fails to give exactly what we need. This winter has been especially busy, and unfortunately, my garden has felt both the weight of the season and my own exhaustion. I had hoped to tend to it before the first frost, but I wasn't able to, and some of what I had remaining of my fall garden died off. Clearing out the garden beds became necessary so I could begin planning what I want to grow next. Starting my first garden last year brought me so much joy and helped me realize how deeply it supported my mental health and my physical body. Getting my hands in the soil, feeling the plants and flowers move through my fingers, brought a sense of serenity and peace I hadn't felt in a long time. One of the most beautiful realizations in recent months is that when I tend to my garden, I'm also tending to my body and mind. The soil, the plants, and I are all connected in a living, breathing way. Thank you for joining me in this gentle reset. I hope you allow yourself the space to create your own, welcoming new memories, journeys, and renewed energy. Take care, friend. I'll see you soon. It is pretty dark now, but I made some progress in the garden. My main priority was just to clean it up and get rid of all the gunk, which I should have done a lot earlier, but I did it. And the sun is slowly setting in the horizon. I'm starting to hear the little crickets coming alive. I don't know about you guys, but cleaning my garden definitely makes my spirit feel a lot better.